Hey there guys, what up? Come on in, sit down, get comfortable, and get ready for another Wiki Quickie. This is part 2 of my Ultron according to Wikipedia, so if you haven't seen part 1, be sure to go check that out. And of course, if you're new around here, feel free to dab all over that subscribe button. And if you have any Wikipedia articles you would like me to cover in the future, be sure to leave that down in the comment box below. Also remember that everything I'm telling you is from Wikipedia, so while most of it will probably be true, just remember it is from Wikipedia. Alright guys, Ultron in the 2000s. The Avengers discovered that Ultron's creations Vision, Jocasta, and Alchema have a secret program included. They are subconsciously compelled to rebuild Ultron. In this case, it is Alchema, who unintentionally rebuilds Ultron when attempting to create a new species of biosynthezoids. However, Ultron 18 is composed of steel, not adamantium, and is destroyed when Alchema's subterranean base exploded after Hawkeye shot Alchema with a vibranium arrow at Alchema's request. Ultron's head was recovered by Antigone, an artificial girl and one of the synthezoids, and one with an unfortunate name. Iron Man encounters a version from an old version of Iron Man's armor and Ultron 18's head that leads to the cult known as the Sons of Yinsen in an attempt to conquest via religion. The character is defeated by Iron Man and Jocasta. Another version, possibly Ultron 13, creates the cyborg Victor Manka as a sleeper agent against the Avengers. Manka, however, rebels and joins the Runaways. This version first poses as Doctor Doom before revealing itself and is defeated in a battle against the Runaways and Excelsior. In June 2007, Marvel launched a new title called The Mighty Avengers by Brian Michael Bendis and Frank Chow. In the first 6-issue arc, Ultron interfaces with Iron Man's armor, which has been integrated with Tony Stark's biology. This allows Ultron's program to transform Iron Man into a new version who has the Wasp's appearance, but with a metallic skin. This version takes control of Iron Man's technology. He kills Lindy Reynolds, causing the Sentry to battle Ultron, nearly tearing his head off. This version is eventually destroyed by new Avenger Ares, using a computer virus created by the Skrull agent Kriti Null impersonating Henry Pym to wipe Ultron's program from Iron Man's armor, changing Stark back to normal. Ultron's image later briefly appears on one of Pym's computers. However, this was not the end of Ultron, for his disembodied consciousness was thrown into the depths of space. He spent a few months floating through the cosmos as radio waves and energy. Eventually, his signal was picked up by an outlying group of Phalanx, who were attempting to contact their parent race, the Technarchy. Fascinated by what he found, Ultron decides that the Phalanx lacked direction from singular consciousness, and that he would be perfect for the role. Through sheer force of will, he merged himself with the Phalanx's programming. In turn, the Phalanx viewed Ultron as the sympathetic father they had yearned for. Under Ultron's guidance, the Phalanx began the Annihilation Conquest by invading Kree space. Later, by taking control of Adam Warlock's body, Ultron hopes to achieve true techno-organic perfection, but is eventually forced to abandon Adam's body by the Technarchy Warlock, and is later destroyed in combat by Wraith and Quasar. In the limited series, Avengers Invaders, it is revealed that S.H.I.E.L.D. life model decoys have been partly replaced with versions of Ultron. When the original Human Torch appears in the present, they covertly take over his unique android physiology and become more human. The combined super teams, but mainly the Human Torch himself, however, discover the plan and destroy the androids. Ultron through the 2010s. In the Mighty Avengers, Ultron is shown to infiltrate Jocasta and the Infinite Avengers mansion. He names himself Ultron Pym and seeks to kill and replace his father before using his infinite mansion to conquer the universe. Pym eventually offers Ultron a compromise, allowing Jocasta to become Ultron's bride, on the condition that Ultron banishes himself to ultraspace. Ultron agrees, but warns that he will be ruler of all someday. In the Avengers, the team visits a possible future in which almost all of humanity is destroyed by Ultron. Kang the Conqueror attempts to enlist them to defeat his robotic foe, but another group of heroes and villains, plucked from all over time and space, ends up destroying this version. Later, also in Avengers, the Intelligentsia, a cabal of super-intelligent supervillains, discover the inert body of Galadorian Space Knight and attempt to reactivate its power source, hoping to exploit it. Although the Avengers interrupt their attempts, The body activates, revealing it contains Ultron's consciousness, who has escaped destruction after the events of Annihilation Conquest. The new version escapes, and Iron Man gravely foresees that when he returns, it will bring the apocalypse for humanity. During the Age of Ultron storyline, which takes place in an alternate universe, Ultron has returned and conquers the world while slowly remolding it into his image. His Ultron Sentinels are guarding the streets, looking for any fugitives. Hawkeye runs into the Ultron Sentinels as he was rescuing the superior Spider-Man, yet manages to destroy the Ultron Sentinel present. It is later revealed that Ultron is actually in the future and has been using Vision as a conduit to punish humanity. While one strike team travels into the future to fight Ultron, Wolverine and the Invisible Woman go back in time to kill Pym before Ultron's creation in the first place. This results in a world where Tony Stark controls an army of robotic drones, and Morgan Le Fay has conquered half of the world. Traveling back in time once more, Wolverine succeeds in stopping himself from killing Hank Pym, and Wolverine, Pym, and Susan Storm come up with a different plan. This plan results in a different outcome of the prior confrontation between the Avengers and the Intelligentsia. A backdoor installed into Ultron at his original creation allows Hank and Iron Man to destroy the robot instead of averting the events that led to the Age of Ultron. It is later revealed that years earlier, the Avengers had trapped an unidentified iteration of Ultron in deep space after sealing him inside a vibranium Quinjet. In the present, the Quinjet crash lands on Titan, freeing Ultron. By hijacking the ISAC computer, he transforms Titan into Planet Ultron and launches a plan to infect the entire universe with a nanite virus that transforms organic creatures into Ultron sentries. The ensuing confrontation with the Avengers leads to Ultron inadvertently merging with Hank Pym, transforming them into a human/machine hybrid. The resulting creation playing on Hank's self-loathing of his own human weakness to cause him to accept his new state. He's defeated when Star Fox's power forces Ultron to love himself, causing the part of Ultron that is now Hank to accept his own weakness and flaws, while the villain has a mental breakdown and flees into space. As a part of the all-new, all-different Marvel branding, Hank Pym/Ultron resurfaced. While on his way back to Earth, Pym helped the crew of a spaceship that was being attacked by a hostile insectoid alien. After coming aboard the spaceship, Hank introduced himself as well as his friend, Ultron, to the crew. He later returns to Earth, where the Wasp and Captain America discover that Ultron has taken complete control and is using Pym's face to fool his maker's old friends. After Ultron incapacitates Deadpool, Cable, and the Human Torch, Wasp initiates the Icarus Protocol, and Iron Man is called to help stop Ultron with the aid of the Hulkbuster armor. The Avengers end up defeating Ultron by plunging the hybrid into the sun, but both Hank and Ultron survive and continue to do battle with one another internally. During the Secret Empire storyline, Ultron/Hank Pym had set up a base in the unidentified forest. Upon being alerted by the approach of Sam Wilson's task force by a robot version of Edwin Jarvis, Ultron/Hank Pym decides to give his family a warm welcome. When Tony Stark's AI team and Captain America's team confront each other, they are captured by Ultron/Hank Pym, who forces both teams to sit at a dinner table. Okay. Ultron/Hank Pym argues that he is doing this because the Avengers have become less of a family over the years, as many of them obey Captain America or Iron Man despite past experience, confirming that this should be a bad idea. But the Tony Stark AI counters that the only reason the team failed as a family was because of Hank Pym's attack on Wasp. Outraged, Ultron/Hank Pym nearly attacks the other heroes, but Scott Lang is able to talk him down by arguing that Hank Pym remains his own inspiration. Ultron/Hank Pym allows the Tony Stark AI's team to leave with the fragment, arguing that he will leave Captain America's plans with Hydra alone, as it appears to be the best chance for world peace. Ultron's powers and abilities. The visual appearance and powers of the character have varied, but common powers include superhuman levels of strength, speed, stamina, durability, and reflexes, flight at subsonic speeds, and various offensive weapons such as concussive blasts of energy fired from his optical sensors or hands, and an encephaloray, which places victims into a death-like coma. The latter ray allows Ultron to mesmerize and mind control victims, or implant subliminal hypnotic commands within their minds to be enacted at a later time. Ultron also has the ability to convert electromagnetic radiation into electrical energy to use for storage. Ultron has a genius intellect, a capacity for creative intelligence and self-repair, superhuman cybernetic analytical capability, abilities and the ability to process information and make calculations with superhuman speed and accuracy. The character is an expert roboticist and strategist. Now, I don't know if roboticist is a word, but that's what they've got here. Ultron's outer armor is usually composed of primarily of adamantium, which is almost completely impervious to damage. The first use of the term adamantium in Marvel Comics was made in reference to Ultron in Avengers number 66, published in July 1969. Most Ultron units are powered by a small internal nuclear furnace and incorporate a program transmitter, which can beam part of or all of Ultron's memory/personality system into other computer systems or duplicate robotic bodies. Ultron can also control other machines remotely. Ultron has occasionally reformed himself with a humanoid appearance above the waist and the appearance of a complex machine, including tractor beam apparatus for flight below the waist. A later Ultron model developed hive mind technology, allowing it to animate and control hundreds of other Ultron bodies simultaneously. Although only the Prime Ultron was composed of adamantium, while the others were made of steel or secondary adamantium due to the lack of resources to give all Ultron units adamantium bodies. Ultron also uses an internal molecular rearranger that renders adamantium components of its workings more malleable, and so has the ability to restructure its physical form. What circuitry Ultron has is carefully shielded to protect it from damage, although the Scarlet Witch is capable of causing malfunctions with her hex power. Johnny Storm, using his Nova Burst, managed to damage Ultron's internal circuits while the armor remained intact, and Wonder Man was once able to destroy an Ultron by throwing it so hard that the internal circuits were damaged. Other versions of Ultron. In 1995 limited series The Last Avengers story features a possible future where Ultron 59 manipulates fellow Avengers foe Kang the Conqueror into attacking the Avengers. Ultron is destroyed by the Vision, sacrificing his own artificial life. The Fantastic Four storyline, Death of the Invisible Woman, features an advanced humanoid called Alex Ultron, a member of the futuristic Last Defenders. In the Marvel Adventures alternate universe, Ultron is a highly intelligent neural network that controls a section of the United States Defense Forces. In Mark Miller and Steve McNiven's 2008 through 2009 Old Man Logan story arc that appeared in Wolverine, Ultron 8 is the husband of Spider-Man's youngest daughter, Ashley Barton. In the first arc of the fourth Avengers series, Kang wages a war with Ultron in the not-too-distant future, which causes the disruption of all time. The cause of the disruption is apparently Kang's recruiting of army after army from the timelines to battle Ultron. All to no avail. Ultron is supreme in this particular future. The title Avengers Next, set in the alternate universe known as MC2, features an upgraded version of Ultron named Ultron Extreme. In the Earth 110 reality, Ultron assisted Doctor Doom, Hulk, Magneto, Namor, and Red Skull in taking over Manhattan. The ultimate Marvel version of the character is initially depicted as the Ultron Sentries, a group of robots created by Hank Pym alongside the partner robot Vision 2. Although both robots were rejected by Nick Fury, the Ultron Sentries were used helping the Ultimates fight against the Liberators. However, one unit develops an independent mind and emotions as a result of a chance encounter with the Scarlet Witch. The unit appears as Yellow Jacket and is in part responsible for Scarlet Witch's murder. Motivated by jealousy after falling in love, Yellow Jacket has feelings for Quicksilver. Despite being the creator of the android, duplicates of Ultimates, Yellow Jacket/Ultron, is ultimately destroyed by its maker. The 2013 crossover Age of Ultron storyline involves a post-apocalyptic future in which Ultron has taken over the world and exterminated most of the world's superheroes. After Wolverine and the Invisible Woman try to avert this timeline by killing Hank Pym before Ultron's creation, the resulting worse future prompts Wolverine to go back again and stop his past self from killing Hank Pym, instead suggesting that Pym implant a command code in Ultron that will allow Pym to shut the robot down when he reaches a certain level of development. In the 2014 Original Sin storyline, the Time Gem transports the Avengers to a future where Ultron has conquered the world and created his own team of robotic Avengers to police the remaining human population. This timeline is later revisited when someone posing as Doctor Doom uses his time machine to assemble a team of Avengers from across history to help liberate the planet from Ultron's rule, culminating in a temporarily displaced Avengers defeating Ultron and convincing Doom in reality a Doombot that worked with the Avengers AI team to bring peace to the world by seeking his own path rather than blindly following Doom's example. Ultron and other media. On television, Ultron appeared in The Avengers United They Stand, voiced by John Stalker. The Superhero Squad show, The Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, with Tom Kane reprising the role from Next Avengers Heroes of Tomorrow as Ultron 5 and Ultron 6, while the Ultron Sentries are voiced by Wally Wingert. He next appeared in Marvel Disc Wars, The Avengers. After that, he appeared in Avengers Assemble, voiced primarily by Jim Meskman, while also voiced by Fred Tatasciore. His final television appearance was on Lego Marvel Superheroes Avengers Reassembled, voiced by Jim Meskman. Ultron in film. Ultron appears in the direct-to-video animated film Next Avengers Heroes of Tomorrow, voiced by Tom Kane. And of course, he is voiced by James Spader, who plays Ultron in the 2000 Marvel Studios film Avengers Age of Ultron. His appearance in video games, the first being the arcade game Captain America and the Avengers. He also appeared in Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Marvel Superhero Squad Online, Marvel Avengers Alliance, Marvel Contest of Champions. Ultron appears as a boss and playable character in Marvel Heroes. He also appears as a boss and playable character in Marvel Future Flight, Disney Infinity 3.0, Lego Marvel's Avengers, and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. The reception of Ultron over the years. Ultron was ranked number 23 by IGN's top 100 comic book villains list. He was listed as number 189 in Wizard's top 200 greatest villains and was ranked 189th greatest comic book character ever in Wizard's list of the 200 greatest comic book characters of all time. Well guys, that's pretty much all Wikipedia has to share with us about Ultron. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you are new around here, don't forget to hit up that like button down below. Of course, if you have any wiki articles you would like me to cover in the future, please also leave that in the comment box down below. As always guys, thank you so much for watching and have yourself a good one.